me hear from Councilwoman Kawakis.
I just want to, I know he's left the room, but I wanted to thank our manager, Larry Spring, for all of the service he's given us, the expertise, experience. Learned a lot from him, so I wanted to thank him. That's it.
Yes, sir.
I would like to nominate Robin Tisdale for the Parks Commission. My other appointee, Eddie Moliner, resigned this week, so Robin graciously said she would serve. She also sits on our University Relations Board, and she lives on Hibiscus Circle in Keystone 2120. So I'd like to place Mrs. Tisdale, a wonderful mom of two beautiful children, for our Parks Commission.
Not old enough for the youth board.
No, they're little.
Think, Madam Clerk, you got it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, do you need a vote?
It doesn't specify that this requires a vote. Let me
Okay.
check.
Move approval.
Second.
Second, and we all approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you, council members.
Thank you very much, and Council, you done for your
I'm done,
reports?
yeah, thank you.
Councilwoman Estimé.
Good evening again, everyone. Last council meeting, we approved a resolution for human trafficking, and I really want to bring up and talk about that, especially with the NFL. These are times when traffickers are really taking advantage of our youth. So there's a couple pointers that I'd like to share. So colleagues, there's a situation impacting our county and our state. In reality, is a situation impacting the world, and it's human trafficking. The International Labor Organization estimates that there are 20.9 million victims of trafficking around the world. Domestically, Florida ranks as the third in the nation in the calls of National Human Trafficking Hotline. The average age of traffic victims is the age of used for commercial sex is between the age of 12 and 14. Miami-Dade ranks as the first sex trafficking in Florida. The statistics are disturbing, and although Miami is often referred to as the magic city, there is nothing magical about this conversation. I'm doing my part to make sure this conversation is taking place in North Miami. So tomorrow, Word in Action and I will host a human trafficking rally with students in the community tomorrow, the 29th, in participation with victims, specialized survivors, mental health therapists, and more, to talk about this sensitive conversation. And we'll, because of the sensitivity of the subject and because of the kids that we'll have, we'll distribute a post-release to talk about this matter. Secondly, Valentine's Day is coming up soon, and we're going to, I'm excited to say that we have a rendezvous at Griffin Center February 13 with our seniors, 65 and plus. You're invited to come and just have a good time. If you want some more information and it's limited spacing, please call 305-788-2592 or email district3@northmiamifl.gov. Like mentioned earlier, our prayers and thought goes out to the Cuban and to Cuba and Jamaica for the earthquake that they're experiencing. And if I'm missing anything else, I don't know, but thank you for your time. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you very much. And as far as reports, I received a couple letters, and now I'm going to start read them to you, and especially those important letters from and throughout the state. And the first letter is to the city manager, and it's between personnel, the personnel department, and IT. I think you guys need to put your act together, because, and we all remember that we order a forensic audit. That's mean we ask the state to come in and looking at our financial situation, and it was 19 or 21 and fact found in that audit, and they give us time to fix them. And as of right now, from the letter that I received from the the joint chair of the state auditor, and I don't have the letter in front of me because I think I hand it over to you. We have two left out of the 19 things that need to be fixed. That means the state tell me in the letter they send me, we in compliance with 17, we have two left, and I think it's IT and personnel. I don't know if it's IT is responsible or personnel or both of them together, and I have to answer by March 23rd, something like that. That letter, please and sit down with IT and personnel to fix that so we can be in complete compliance with all the thing that have been found during that forensic audit. And that's the first thing letter that I received from that. The second letter is from the state attorney's office, and the letter, it's a letter of support for the city of North Miami Police Department in the efforts to secure funding from the 2020-2021 Victims of Crime Act, called VOCA, for the continuation of the North Miami Police Department Advocacy Program. It's an interested letter, and it's been signed by Catherine Fernandez Rondo and sent to me, and one was sent to the chief in support of that program. That's when the state attorney's office understand that in the city of North Miami, especially at the police department, we do have, and they're seeking funding for that program, and it's been around for 11 years, and it's a full-time victims advocate, and who continues to provide support to victims of domestic violence, violent crimes, and survivors of homicides. That means it's a letter of support, and we want to thank the police department for having a full-time person and taking care of those victims, and that's the letter of support. And Madam Chief of Staff, and if you can hand it over to the clerk department, and I don't know if for public record, whatever it is. And the other letter that I received is from Florida House of Representatives, and where they said that please take note of legislation passed in the 2019 session and signed by Governor DeSantis, and now local government is prohibited from requiring notice, application approval, permit, fee, or mitigation for the removal of any tree on residential property. That's mean now the city cannot prevent someone from removing a tree inside of the property if an arborist or a landscape architect documents that the tree presents a danger to persons or property. That's mean the local government will be prohibited for that, and I think and the bill that passed is CSHB 1159. And Madam Clerk, I don't know, Madam Chief of Staff, if you can pass all those to the city clerk. That's mean so. Mr. City Attorney, I think if you can please update our code, and because right now, and any arborist or landscape architect, if they declare that that tree is a danger to the person living in that property, or it's dangerous to the property, that means they can remove it without local government consent. Only been passed, and we have to update and our code about it. And I think that concludes my report. Madam Clerk, your report.
Good evening, everyone. Today, January 28th, is actually National Plan for Vacation Day, even though we just probably came off
National what?
vacations. National Plan for Vacation
Oh.
Day. So it's the best time for me to remind you that we do offer passport services down here in the office of the city clerk on the first floor. In addition to that, we wanted to, or I had suggested that we do some board appointments. And so if the council would like, we have about 4 boards that are in need of quorum, or most in need because they're more active. And one of them being the library board. Is anybody ready to make appointments to that board?
Do we have the applications? Well,
Everyone should have a binder that contains the applications.
Madam Clerk, there's a applicant that has advised me that she applied, and I'm not seeing her application. Her name is Rose Anha?
Cruz Michel Gampierre?
No,
No? Okay.
Rose Anha. Are you,
I don't recall seeing that name as having submitted an application. And now I'm looking. What's the last name?
if I'm not mistaken, it's ACHONG?
Oh, okay, Rose. No, I don't recall seeing an application from Rose.
Okay.
Are you done?
Although
with
she
the-
is a friend of the North Miami, she's
Right.
friends of the North Miami Library. So I'm
Correct.
not sure if she's mixed the two up.
Well, I'd like to appoint her. She stated to me that she applied.
But
I'm
one
going to
thing,
get clarification, but
Remember
I'd like to
last time we
appoint.
said not without applications.
Correct. So let me just say it on the record. She said to me that she did submit an application. I don't know
Oh,
what's in
okay, okay.
between, and she submitted this
can-
application a long time ago. So I just wanted to be able to appoint her at the moment that we can, to the library board as soon as we can locate that application.
Where is it in the package?
So for the sake of transparency, I checked my email. It's not there, so it would have had to be in hand delivered. I'm happy to have a conversation with Ms. Rose
Oh,
to further investigate the issue and see what may have happened, and then maybe at the next board meeting, at the next council meeting, we can go
No
ahead
problem.
and proceed with that.
Thank you.
Mayor Bienemé, would you like to make an appointment?
No, not yet.
Library board right now, right?
Anybody?
No,
Well,
we're going to try to go in order just to keep it simple. So does anybody else have any?
Didn't I appoint Marcela Gutierrez?
Let me see.
I can't even remember, it's been so long.
Generally,
Marcelo
you are the
Gutierrez.
only one who is current with almost all of your boards. I think that this one is expired, though.
You wanna reappoint that
I had
person?
No,
Marcelo
my
Gutierrez?
appointee moved, and I believe.
I mean, you
was-
can make the appointment tonight.
Well, I thought I had already done it, so I believe this lady's name is here, Marcela Gutierrez. Is that who I previously appointed?
Yes.
Okay, so her application's still in here, but I did appoint her several months ago.
Can you,
Can you check your email
do you have
for
who
me?
is on the board?
I have her
right now?
application right here.
But is that the person I sent you the name?
Let me see. Did you send me this email recently?
No, it's months ago.
Okay. Okay, I know which email you're talking about.
But can you tell me who's on the board? Do you have that in front of you?
What are you asking, Mayor?
The board of the library board, do you have a list of who's in there now?
They're all expired.
Or they're all expired?
Yes.
I see.
So
Judy
for
Brown.
example, you have Blanca Cobo, who could be reappointed. Dr. Alan Smith, who was previously appointed by Councilman Galvin.
What about Judy
Ms.
Brown?
Judy Brown could be reappointed as well.
Okay, we
Miss-
appoint
On the
Judy
library?
Brown, yeah.
Okay.
Miss-
Yes, go ahead.
I've said it before, I want to say it again. Anybody who I have already previously appointed to any board whose term is expired, I wish to reappoint that person so that we don't have to go through the long arduous process. So I've always prided myself on having all of my board appointees in place, so I make the motion that anybody who I've, like Dr. Smith, who I've previously appointed, if their term has run out, just please reappoint them.
them.
And if you would check for my email too.
I checked and I don't have any for the library board. You did make to the Downtown Action Plan Advisory
Yeah,
Committee. I believe maybe the Personnel Board.
No, it was about 4 months ago when Inez moved. I'll go back and look and give you that name.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, can we have Judy Brown and
Yes.
Blanca Cobo reappointed?
Okay.
Okay, how does it work? We all get one appointee, or we can just fill in the gap?
Each member of the City Council shall nominate one member. It is subject to approval of a majority of the City Council.
Yes. Blanca Cobo and Judy Brown.
But how are you appointing two, Mayor?
Relax.
He's
What you
reappointing
mean?
I'm
council members.
just doing this reappointing
Yes,
people
but
we need on the board.
I understand that, but
Do you wanna
somebody has to
appoint
make, no,
someone?
I have someone else to appoint, Mr. Mayor, and I'm
Who do you
waiting.
want? Go ahead.
Rose, but her application, Rose says her application was submitted. The clerk said
That's
it's
when
not,
yours is
so,
empty.
correct, and I will wait to
We-
appoint,
We okay with that?
Yeah.
right, but we all each
Carol
have
Key's
one.
gonna appoint and Judy Brown
Yours is still
and me,
vacant.
Blanca Cobo.
I'm
We
gonna
two.
go back and check my email.
Let's finish two people who've been there.
I would
It's
approve, I would approve second Rose,
Yeah.
I don't know that you have to have your application,
I mean,
so I would approve
it
that.
would-
Can you appoint Judy Brown?
No, I have someone I've already appointed,
Oh.
so now I gotta go back and look.
Okay, can I think it's two people from Councilman Desilme. Can you appoint Blanca Cobo and Judy Brown?
Yes, I sent it on,
We send it.
okay, I'm gonna appoint Marcela Gutierrez.
Yes, I have that.
Okay,
Okay, so would you all like to vote as what we have so far? So the reappointment of Blanca Cobo, Dr. Alan Smith, and Judy Brown, as well as Marcela Gutierrez. Is there a motion?
And I'd like to also appoint Rose and Hodge, and then we can deal with her application later.
If the application
In
is
the
not
past,
there,
you all
you
have-
cannot appoint it. We
Right,
say
it
that.
still
Okay.
remains vacant, so it doesn't
Definitely
mean that
can do
somebody's
it at the
taken
next
over your appointment.
Those
can-
are, we're talking about application, people who've been there already on the board and just we appoint
I
them.
understand that, but everybody has a right to appoint one person. I'm appointing my person, and so.
You have that.
Right,
You just don't have an application. That's when you're gonna do that next
Okay.
council meeting. We're not taking your spot. Okay, go ahead, Madam Clerk.
Would you like to
You-
call the vote?
Yeah,
Okay. So all in favor?
all right.
Aye.
Okay. All opposed? So the appointments are made 4-0.
Do we have any other appointments?
Yes, the Quality Education Board.
Do you have any?
I think I've already appointed everybody.
Okay.
I have an appointment for the advisory board, the CRA advisory that I'd like to appoint someone. I'd like to appoint Kenny Each to the CRA board.
Madam Clerk, are we there?
Yeah, let me go back to that,
To where?
to the CRA,
CRA.
because I was at Quality Education. Okay. All in favor?
Of what?
To appoint Kenny Each to the CRA.
Wait, give me a second, let me get it. Who's on the board right now?
So you have Michael McDermott.
Who appoint him?
You did.
You know who? You can, where is that? Is that my estimate when we appoint that?
Would you like me to continue with the list, Mayor?
Yes, please.
Okay. Michael McDermott, Clark Reynolds, Lumana Joseph, Claudio Sanchez, Holly Cohen, Carol Geimer, Blanca Cobo, Emmanuel Gentil.
That's mean, how many vacant position do we have?
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4.
4 vacant?
Right.
Who are vacancy?
We have 2 for District 3 and
2 for District 3?
right,
2 vacant,
2 vacant, yeah.
okay. Why is 2?
And then
That's
we
actually
have-
not correct. I only have one vacancy. I have a
me
business
double
owner and then I have I'm appointing a resident.
How many people are on that
Okay.
board? The CRA?
Okay. Okay. So one business at large is missing.
How many people, okay, who have appointees?
So the
Who
first
do I
thing that
have?
I want to mention is that in the transfer to this new website,
Mhm.
we discovered that a lot of information is actually missing from the old one.
I
So
see.
I'm going to review all of that,
Okay,
just in general, because a lot of the missing links and things like that.
okay.
However, Jerome McCain was appointed, so we do have a business at large that remains to be appointed.
Okay. Do you wanna appoint business at large?
Can you speak into
Okay.
the mic? I can't hear.
Okay.
No, I'm not ready to do that tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
So would we like to continue with board appointments at the next council meeting?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
That concludes my report, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Attorney. Your reports.
Just would like to say on the letter you just read about the plants and trees, that already exists in our code, so there's no need to bring that back as an ordinance.
Okay, it's already there. That's mean, but how come sometimes they issue violation of $500 for people cutting trees inside of the property?
I believe what you read is that if the tree is not a prohibited species, and if the tree is dead, damaged by wind, fire, etc., and doesn't and which poses an imminent danger to property, that's an exemption.
Yeah.
I'll take a look at the
Yeah,
letter
but
that you sent.
the way in the one that been sent by the Speaker of the House to me, it's like he said, any arborist or a landscape architect that declare that the resident is free to remove it without anything from the local government. It's something that just passed. That's been
I'll take a look at the
okay.
letter, man.
Okay, it's not something you, huh? No, for protected trees, that's different. Like the preserve and thing like that. We're still under the same provision. We're talking about any other trees. That's mean, and I know a lot of residents with those big oaks trees, and that cover the entire roof, and they still cannot remove it right now. They issue violation of $500. Now they'll be able to remove those trees. But an architect, a landscape architect or an arborist have to declare that a danger in order for you to remove it. You cannot just say, yes, you represent that, and you remove it on your own. And city manager, do you have any reports?
Just again, like to wish Mr. Larry Spring from the administration well. For anybody that wants to come, we're having people just show up to Cafe Crib. You got to buy your own food and drinks, though. But we're gonna have something for him tomorrow, right after work around 5:30. If you want to say goodbye to Larry, that's it, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. No more reports.
Move to adjourn?
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
All in favor? All opposed? 5-0.
Running. Mayor, I'll probably see you